Hello, welcome everybody. And we are so happy to have you in the audience watching and expecting us. Tonight we have a wonderful topic to talk about. And if you just give me a second, I'm going to, this is one of the thing with the live, you prepare everything, but you're still getting some challenges, but minor one. It's not major. Just how I can hear myself and making sure that the monitoring is fine. Okay. Thanks, welcome on Mountain of Inspiration for joining me.
A pleasure.
And I'm really happy that to be with you on this set so that we can discuss and talk about how we can keep the cost of doing business down low, if you want, with this technology called SaaS. All right? So without any further ado, let me bring up my screen, my presentation. Okay. Why is it hiding? And I just realized also that Melon, they have updated a couple of things on Melon and also on Canva. As I was showing it to somebody earlier, and I was saying, I kind of like Melon when it comes to the presentation, doing those presentation, preparing my presentation on Melon. I like it. And plus, it gives you all these assets that you can use on the presentation, and the way it flows, the way it combines everything. I really love it.
Okay. Very professional.
Okay. Thank you. So, what is SaaS? And this is our proposal on this topic. Are we going to explain to you, how are we going to show you how you can use SaaS to keep your cost of doing business low as possible. And, you know, although it's not always possible, but with the SaaS, I'll show you a couple of things. And I hope that at the end of this presentation, you'll be able to be inspired and get some ideas and rethink maybe the way you're doing business. And I really hope that some people will be inspired to create those softwares or those services that other people can consume, like myself or like Mountain of Inspiration. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about what is SaaS, the type of SaaS, all the different businesses that generated using the SaaS platform, the benefits and the cost, so that you get a broader understanding, a broader perspective on this topic. What is SaaS? So simply put, it is software as a service, also known as cloud-based software. And I like the way Salesforce puts it. It says SaaS is a cloud-based software solution in which software providers deliver applications to users over the internet.
Okay.
So, I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, we are using a SaaS platform to do this live.
Oh, the Melon app.
Melon is a SaaS.
Okay.
It's a software as a service.
Okay.
Why is a service? Because we have to pay for it. Why? We have to pay for it. It's based in the cloud, meaning what? Meaning that I can be anywhere in the world with an internet connection and with the right hardware. I can use this service. I can use this software. And I hope you're catching me there.
Yes, absolutely.
It's already maybe an indication how good, how useful, how beneficial this can be to your business. All right. So right there, one of the benefits that I did not even put in my presentation is you're no longer bound to a location. You're no longer bound to a desk. You're no longer bound to a certain city. You're no longer bound to a building. So basically, wherever you can have an internet connection, you can access your application and you can still run your business. Look at how beautiful it is.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So just thinking about it, looking at how you can do this, and all the benefit, just being able to travel. You may get an emergency. You get a call and they say you need to be in Thunder Bay. For business, and you don't have to worry about anything because all you need is your laptop or your tablet or even your phone, depending on the software.
Yes.
And you can connect to your database, connect to your software to do your presentation. Just imagine for a business person like yourself. So with this, you really don't need to bring even a USB key.
Yeah.
All right. So as long as you know that wherever you go in, they have a good internet connection, you basically don't need to bring your USB key like we used to do a couple of years ago.
As a matter of fact, most people don't bring the keys anymore. It's a thing of the past.
Exact. And one of the reasons as well is because going to the airport, for people traveling a lot, there was a time where the customs officer, they will ask you to open your computer.
Yes.
And they need to go through your computer and check everything.
Yeah.
So
even cell phones.
Even the cell phones. So with this kind of technology, you don't need to carry a laptop if you don't have to. Why? Because if you prepare everything and you upload it on let's say, for example, I'm using my Canva account to do this presentation. So everything is on Canva. It's not residing on my computer. It's not residing on my phone or my tablet. Not at all. It's in the cloud. So anywhere I go, with the right connections, I make sure that if I'm going to do a presentation, I carry with me all the cables, all the connection, the adapters that I need. So that if I get somewhere and they say, the only way we can connect your tablet through our projector is with, let's say, HDMI. I need to be prepared with these kind of adapters. And all I can say, can I get an internet connection? And even with that, you can always be prepared as a business person, and understanding that most countries, if you go in you go in and buy or pay for the data services from the internet service providers, it's usually cheaper than using the phone data. Most countries, yes, it's usually cheaper.
And
so
it's cheaper just for us. We live in North America. Whenever we leave North America, it's always cheaper to actually buy service wherever we go overseas. North America is very expensive.
Right. Even here, if you go with all the phone mobile companies, they have a different price. I think it's not even $20 for 10 gig.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you need to have the dedicated modem that can take that SIM, SIM for data, not a phone, but SIM for data, just data.
Okay.
And then you can basically carry it with you anywhere you go. And another thing, maybe for anyone planning to travel, just check the destination countries and see if those mobile modem where you can insert a SIM are compatible with the phone providers in those countries. There are one or two brands that I know of. They are compatible with all the different carriers. So if you buy one, for example, from Amazon, you just put it in your bag and you take it with you. You get in the country, you paid a $10 or $20 to get a 10 gig connections, which will be plenty of data for 1 or 2 days connections, and you'll be
More than
fine.
enough. Yeah.
You'll be fine. Now, we said it's a cloud-based technology. And one of the people that was kind of predicting, they were talking about this thing when it was not even understood. This professor, John McCarthy, he say computing may someday be organized as a public utility. And it was back in 1961, and people did not quite understand what he was talking about. But this gentleman was forward thinking. He sorry?
No, indeed.
Yes, he foresaw the future of computing. He foresaw the future of the connectivity. He's actually considered one of the founders, not the email, but the interconnectivity. Actually, his specialty was artificial intelligence, for which he won a couple of awards. So if you check his name, you just put John McCarthy, MIT, you'll see a lot of articles about him. What are the types of SaaS that we see so far right now, and we're probably using it already? One of them is email.
Yes, sir.
That we're using right now.
Yes.
Email.
Gmail.
Any email, Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, all this, it's software that we are using as a service. Again, it's cloud-based. Why? Because you can access it anywhere you have an internet connection. Of course, for the email, for the Gmail, the Yahoo, the Hotmail, it's all free, but still the same principle that allowing you to access your data, your information from anywhere you could be in the world. The other one, it's also where we're seeing that being used a lot now, it's the storage capacity. So basically, services like Dropbox, iCloud from Apple, or Google Drive from Google, or Microsoft OneDrive, it's allowing you to store your data, your information online in the cloud. So that means what? That means that, again, it removes the need for you to carry a USB key. And if you don't have to, you don't have to carry a laptop neither. And that is why I usually tell people, business people, I say, make sure you keep a copy of everything that you have on your laptop. Keep a copy in the cloud.
Yeah.
Why? Because anything can happen and your laptop or breaks down. But if you have an internet connection, you'll be able to access those information and do your presentation regardless of the place, the country, the city that you could be in, as long as you have an internet connection.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
Yes, but I mean, on that one, I might just want to say just give one personal opinion that actually is based on personal experience. To always actually at least bring a laptop that is yours, that you're familiar with, because I found myself one time in a country, I was trying to access an email because someone was sending me an email from Canada, because I was trying out to access Gmail from a computer that was not actually familiar to Gmail. They stopped me. So everything was actually stopped. So I had to basically have someone in Canada go into my account, reprogram everything. I mean, change my password, now for me to go back inside to confirm I was the person. Otherwise, I would have never gotten the email. And from that lesson, I learned at least always bring just one device that's yours that can actually give access to your email.
So I guess back then you did not use your phone to access emails.
I did, but I needed to actually print something. And the place where I was trying to print a document, they would not allow me to actually print from a phone.
Oh, okay. Those are some other challenges sometimes that we can encounter. And that is true. As a matter of fact, as much as I say you don't need to bring anything, I'll always say bring one mobile device with you on top of your phone.
Yes.
So something really light. And
Yes.
again, that's where also, depending on the traveling that you do, I'll say go for a really light computer or
Yes.
a tablet that,
Yes.
so
iPod.
these kind of devices,
Yes. Hmm.
because then you can access your data. You can access your mailbox. Why?
Yes.
Because the way those security feature works is
Hmm.
they locate your device based on the IP.
Yes.
So if they recognize the device,
Hmm.
they will know it's you because they
Yes.
know you always log in using that device.
There you go.
Wherever you go, you log in using your tablet, or they know it's tablet.
It's
But it's
yours.
a funny, but it's logging from
A different
somewhere
country.
in Congo.
Yes.
But it's the device that we already know,
Yes.
which is kind of safe.
Hmm.
The other types of SaaS that we get, it's storage backup.
Mm.
And there are a couple of them. They sell you that as a service and you pay
Mm.
for it.
Mm.
And you can basically install it and connect your desktop, your
Mm.
laptop, your server, your computer, anything. It's connected to the cloud,
Hmm.
and at a during a specific time that you, depending on the software you're using, some of them you can program, you can do anytime.
Hmm.
They will take all your computer information, back
Hmm.
it up in
Hmm.
the cloud.
Hmm. Hmm.
Of course,
Hmm.
you'll pay for it, and I know the price are usually around for the desktop. It depending on the brand of the software, it's between $15 and $40.
Per year or per month?
A 12-month subscription.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's usually a 12-month subscription, and so that way every time, whatever time you set up,
Hmm.
then the computer will connect to the cloud and make a copy and save it there in case you lose it, in case anything happen.
Hmm.
It may seem too much, but some of you right now, you are backing your phone into Google Drive or some
Hmm.
into Apple iCloud.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're doing it already,
Yes.
but you never thought about it. You never
Hmm.
thought of the technology behind it.
Hmm.
It's a service. It's a software, and that's why you have like an icon on your computer. You have an icon on your laptop or your phone. And just say, "Oh, back up my device." Like on
Yes.
your phone, you just click,
Yes.
it'll back it up.
Yes. All the photos and the videos.
Exact.
Yeah.
So should anything happen, should somebody, let's say, steal your phone, all you do, you can go online and let me share a story.
Hmm.
A friend of mine was in Congo, got her phone stolen.
In the Congo, okay?
And she was panicking. She,
Mm.
what am I going to do? And this, and I have all my business contact and all that. The first thing we asked her, because we was in a group, do you back your phone on a regular basis?
Mm.
Or say, yes, it was the default it set up. Say, okay, simple. Oh, but my information may be stolen. We say, go quickly to a computer, log
Hmm.
in using your profile,
Hmm.
and cancel or disconnect that phone.
Hmm.
So the person, whoever has stolen your phone, they'll
Hmm.
just use the phone, but they will not have access to the numbers that you have, all the
Hmm.
information that you have, the emails. No, it'll be shut down.
Hmm. Hmm.
And she was so glad she did it because as soon as she did it,
Hmm.
she was at peace knowing that yes, her data was safe. And it was a weekend, so by the time then the following business week, she was able to get another phone.
There you go.
But that's where this service of
Yes.
storage backup or storage
Mm.
recovery
Mm.
becomes important.
Absolutely.
It becomes like a
Mm.
utility that Professor John McCarthy was talking
Mm.
about.
Mm.
Not only that,
Mm.
You also have what we call the computing power, the computing as a service. And when we talk about computing, people are always like, "Oh, what do you mean computing? And
Mm,
uh,
mm.
how can you really do computing in the cloud?"
Yes, that's a very good question.
Basic one:
Mm,
any calculation that you do on Excel, isn't it calculation? Isn't it computing? Now, if you do have Microsoft Office 365,
mhm,
you are doing it in the cloud.
mhm, mhm,
It's no longer done on your phone. It's no longer done on the laptop, on the desktop, but it's
mhm,
done in the cloud.
mhm, mhm,
Of course, you can get a copy to reside on the device itself, but
mhm,
you have the ability to do it online. You see? Let me just greet the people here. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great day. That's Dalian TV. And I see
Leroy,
40 and Broke, our good friend.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Mhm,
So, this is what I'm talking about. You have all these different types of SaaS,
mhm,
software as a service, that's being offered to you right now, and you're
mhm,
using it.
mhm,
And some of them you did not know that you were using them.
mhm,
But I hope that tonight you understand how this software as a service is being used almost every day. You
mhm,
use it sometime without even knowing it.
mhm,
Let's move. I love this is the portion of the same saying in the same speech that John Marcory was giving to that group of students in MIT back in 1961.
mm.
You see, the computer utility could become the basis of a new and important industry. And again, it was back in 1961 where people did not quite understand how can
1961, so 60 years ago.
exact exactly
60 years ago. He already
yes
foresaw this.
yes yeah. He looked at it and say, and we'll go. We'll probably check him out later.
Okay.
Let me see the comment from Fodian Brook. Oh, I see this channel is a lot of tech. I have to binge watch and learn about tech. Yes, tech from a business perspective. Although I work for IT companies, but I'm trying to bring the understanding of these technologies to the level of the masses, the level of the business people, business minded people, and help them understand whenever they get somewhere to see that some of those words, some of those lingo, and they're just words, but they have a meaning behind them that
Mhm,
sometimes we use them without
mhm,
knowing what the IT people call them.
mhm, mhm,
All right. So those are the different businesses that that it can apply to, that can take advantage of this.
mhm,
And of course, I see the world of
mhm, mhm,
artists. I see
mhm,
them really leveraging this technology.
mhm,
Why? Look at now some other software to record music. Most of them right now they offer like an online version where you can collaborate with other artists. So you as the beat maker, you could be in Portugal
mm,
and you have the bass player in California and you have the drummer in where? In Japan. All you do, you can either go all at the same time, although it can be a little tricky, but they can all access the same file remotely and record their part. Just imagine.
So which of course
In
then call which of course then call for 5 or 6G.
exact. As you can see, the need is what really driving technology. somebody will look at the need and start thinking ahead and start having visions. How can I make it easier for those consumers? I mean, that's what scientists are for. They are just there to say, okay, they see a problem, they see how people are consuming whatever technology they have right now. Because remember, the technology that we're using today is probably the most appropriate for now. But it may not be relevant in the next 5 or 10 years.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's a very perfect point because technology has evolved so dramatically since 2020. The things that we can do now on a cell phone from our home are not the things that we could do before March 2020. Things have just changed so dramatically. Yeah, it's crazy. So I do foresee that within the next 2 or 3 years, the technology that we're going to have is going to be even much more different.
Exactly. Yeah. You look at it even from a business management perspective.
Yeah.
You go with the business communications, how companies communicate. You work for a financial institution, you know how it was.
Yeah.
It was not that simple, but right now, even banks are making it easier.
Absolutely.
Why? Because they understood that their salespeople need to be mobile enough to reach all different kind of people.
Yeah.
They can no longer be stuck in the old way of doing things. Oh, Mr. Customer, this is my card. Can you please come to my office? You know, I have my business to run, and you want me to come and talk about what? You want to extend my line? So you have all my information. Why do I have to come? What do you want? What do you need? What kind of information do you want? You want my driver license? Here it is. You want my bank statement? Here it is. What else you want? Yeah. So you have everything. Go and review it and tell me what else you need. And if everything is fine, then approve me. Give me the line of credit that you need, that I need.
Yeah.
Or whatever you deem appropriate for my credit score.
Yeah. And that it's not just for the banks, right? Because even lawyers, that within the community, they're saying that yes, 90% of business now is actually done online. They work from home. They only go into the office once a month, just to actually just show to show face, but they don't need to go to the office anymore. Things have changed dramatically, even for lawyers.
You see?
Yeah.
The other areas where people are probably using it's customer relationship management. So software to get to collect and share information about a customer. You know, the size of the company, the customer profile and all that. Some organization until recently, they were saving everything, let's say, on an Excel sheet, which was residing on somebody's computer. Meaning what? Meaning that should anything happen to that computer, all this information were lost. And if the company did not take a storage backup or storage recovery program or a subscription, the information is lost. Now, because of the way we are working and because the way the business has evolved in the last 10 years, where all the sales organization, they have a lot of people in the field, on the roads, they needed to have access to the same information as the people in the office.
In real time.
In real time.
Yeah.
Not to, no, in real time. They need to have access to it. And that's where those kind of businesses, those people providing those kind of services came into play and make it easier for organizations to give their salespeople access to the client information from anywhere they could be in the world. See? And even some of them, for example, I know because I used to have access to one of them, they will limit access in terms of if they see that your connection is not in North America, you cannot access the data.
Oh,
Why?
really?
Because An employee could have left, or is probably traveling without even telling the company, and is in Barbados or in Bahamas or something like that. No, you cannot access it. You need to be in the mainland North America, either in the States or in Canada, to access those information. Out of that region, no. Those are some of the ways that you can do it. Who else can benefit from SaaS? Graphic designing companies. Why? Because now, like I'm using it, Canva is a tool for graphic designers.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it online from anywhere. And as a matter of fact, depending on the plan that you may have with Canva and other brands, I'm not saying Canva is the only one. You have other brands. You have the Adobe Creative Cloud and all that. You can have a team of people accessing the files that you are collaborating on. And guess what? You don't need to install licenses on those computers. All they need to do to have a good internet connection, and bang, they are on, and they're looking at the files that you created, and you want them to add or to modify things on it. So look at our logistics, and logistics in terms of managing all these tools, receiving all the inventory to your office and having to store them somewhere. Using that as a service, you just have to make sure that it leaves the factory and it goes to another place, and they manage it for you, and you just watching the inventory remotely. The Shopify, the Amazon. Some of these sellers, they don't touch the goods they're selling. They don't even see them. It's all managed to the cloud. All they see, okay, how many what are quantities that I have on those phones? What are quantities that I have for the cables? That's all they see. As soon as they get an order, they get notified that one is shipped. And your money will be in your bank whenever they agreed on.
Yes.
It'll be there. That's it.
Yes.
So you don't need to worry about transportation. You don't need to worry about all the logistics of handling inventory. No. They make it easier for you. Now, from a business perspective, and that's probably where we're going to spend some time. And because we say we're trying to help businesses, we're trying to open the eyes of the entrepreneurs that we know around us, to see how this can benefit them, how it can help them. One of the first benefits that I see from this, it's really the time it takes for you to start using the software and start being productive. It's really, really, really short. Just imagine. I'll tell you, the first time, for example, I started using those online streaming platforms, StreamYard, Melon. Yes, the first day was not easy, but as soon as I kind of understood, because most of them are intuitive, and if you've been doing these kind of things for a while, I've been doing it for over 12 years now, so you kind of know, you kind of understand the layout, so you know where to click and all these things. I was able to do my tests and start streaming in no time. No time. So I was productive within less than an hour. But imagine all different softwares, and first you need to install it, and then you realize that you misread one of the requirements on the computer. Then you need first to upgrade, to install something to allow this driver to work, And it's, especially in the Microsoft world a couple of years ago, because now they've gotten a lot better. But remember the Windows 7 or earlier version of the Windows operating system? Yeah, it was a nightmare. And most of them, it was a nightmare. But with this SaaS, you have access to the tool quickly. And because most of them, they also offer like a tutorial right there, just to give you a quick starting. Most of the tutorials for any of these SaaS applications, especially the one for videos and all that, most of them, to get you going, they're not even 10 minutes long, less than 10 minutes long. Yeah. Meaning what? Meaning that they want you to be able to run with the software as soon as possible.
Yeah. And because they understand the times in which we live, right? They understand that now people are most people are still actually stuck to working from home. As a matter of fact, because I work from home and I also get to see parents who actually work from home, you come to understand that everyone, when you have to do something, you're looking for something that can be very intuitive. You don't have time to actually go back in the days and spend like 6 hours trying to understand enough. You don't have time. You just need something. You get online, you get things going, and you can get the result, and it's safe. That's all you need.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the other benefit that we can also look at it, the cost. It's much, much cheaper.
Yes.
When I say not cheaper, but it costs you less money because you don't have to spend a lot of money up front. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to spend the Adobe Creative Suite. For those of you who have been in the graphic design or video production a while, when they were selling that DVD, that Creative Suite, there was one version that cost no less than $2,000. And the only way some people were able to get the software is through torrent, places where people share files, with the risk of getting infected by virus and things like that. But because people needed that software, they will take the risk of downloading it from places.
Yes.
Why? Because it costed a lot of money.
Unknown sources.
Yes. But right now, for $40, you have a subscription with Adobe and you can access those software. Just imagine $2,000 versus $40. Look at how your cost has decreased right there.
Yeah.
And of course, I know people would say, oh, by the end of the day, you're paying $40 a month and it will cost you how much for $480 for the year, and you multiply that by 3 and all that, and yes, it's still going.
It's a business expense. So I don't really think it. Yeah, it's a business expense. You can always actually declare that.
Exact, and that's why I'm saying, for a business-minded person, I'd rather spend $40 a month than spending $2,000.
Yeah.
And using that as an expense, a business expense.
Yeah.
Just look at it. And for us living in North America, we know that, it helps with those income tax claim that we make. It helps.
Absolutely.
So why are you complaining about how much it will cost you in the long term versus what how much saving you're getting? You're saving, right there. If you have to make that purchase right there today, instead of spending $2,000 to get the software, you're only paying $40 right there. Look at the savings. I don't know how many percentage of savings, but you're saving a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So, and like you said, it's savings. Your costs are going down. You don't need to spend that much for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only that, the other benefit that I also, observed and looked, and also through the readings and also looking at some of the evaluations, most of the software, they integrate well with most of the hardware that's already available.
Mm.
And not only that,
Seamless.
yes, they know, they'll tell you, because it's a software, it's online. You basically, you don't need to install anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm running Melon for my streaming tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing it from an Apple computer, but I can do it from a Windows computer, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of requirements, computer requirements, it doesn't ask so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All he asks for is a good internet connection, a stable
Yes.
internet connection,
Mm-hmm.
then you're fine. Look at the savings compared to getting that $2,000 software. Not only that, they ask you to have certain specs. They'll tell you you need to have this amount of memory. You need to
Yes.
have this kind of processor, because
Yes.
this processor cannot work. It's not fully optimized for our version of the software.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So right there, you're not only investing $2,000 on the software, but you also need to make sure that your computer is ready for that software. Meaning
the
what?
hardware.
Meaning more expenses.
Yes.
The cost still going up. But with a SaaS, you don't have to pay for all of that.
No.
Now, and for the upgrades, they fast. You know, when we start doing all this streaming, and for those of you who don't know, I used to have, I still have it, StreamYard. As a matter of fact, I logged in and I created a profile. They had like a trial, and then I said, okay, let me take it. But the amount of change, for example, when I decided to test Melon,
In less than 6 months. In less than 6 months, StreamYard has gone from actually being the top app to just one of the bottom ones in less than 6 months.
in less than 6 months. Just look at it. Look at how fast they're doing the upgrades. And I was telling you before we started, just the amount of upgrade that I see on Melon every single week. I use Melon for this show, but I use also Ecamm Live to produce other shows that I do as well. But those two platforms, man, the amount of improvement they're making on a weekly basis, it's huge. And guess what? You're still paying the same amount. The $40 that you're paying for Ecamm, or the $10 that you pay, or $15 that I'm paying for Melon, same amount, but I'm still getting more and more benefit. Like I was doing it the other day. Now with Melon, I can move my text. So let's say if I decide to do what I can move my. You see that ticker at the bottom of the screen? I can decide to put it above and at the top. If I had my logo, I could move it. Things that were not possible when I signed up for Melon, for example. And it's still not possible on StreamYard, for example. But this is not the topic of the day, not the comparison. But just to give you one of the benefits of going with a SaaS, a software as a service, look at how many upgrades that you can get. You're paying for something, the amount is set, and I mean, they're not planning to change it. Maybe they'll probably add more features, and then which require more a premium price. But again, if I need them, looking at how well they've done in the last 6 months, I may go for it. You see, and this is also one of the things that, as a business, I'll say, given the state of the SaaS business, the way those engineers are, the way they are working, and the offerings that we have, whenever you see a brand new competitor coming, my friends, sign for it. because they usually come with an entry price lower than what they're planning to charge in the future. They all do that. You are a content producer, and I'll say you see something new coming to compete with Melon. Check the price, check the features. If they're offering the same features as Melon, but at a lower price,
No price.
go for it. Go for it, because chances are in probably 30 or 40 days, or maybe 45 or maybe 60 days, they will lock it. They will lock it, and you may benefit from a premium version, but at an entry-level price. And because it's SaaS, and that is one of the things I tell people, as much as you like to do it, as much it could be enticing, don't sign for a full year.
Okay.
Don't sign for a full year. No.
Okay.
Take a monthly subscription. Why? Because let's say, yes, it's working fine, and they're doing a lot of improvement, 6 months, but then on the 11th month, or maybe on the 8th month, and the service start degrading, or something happened, they get bought out by another company. And a new company just comes and change everything. If you were on a 12-month plan, you're locked in. But if you are not, and you don't like the direction they take in, you just step out and say bye.
Yeah,
the freedom, that flexibility.
Yes.
It's a flexibility that you do not have in the old way of consuming software. Why? Because the software they came in a box, and they had a seal. As soon as the seal was broken, you could not return it. You were not able to return that software. All the manufacturers had the same rules. Is the seal broken? You cannot return it.
Yeah.
So you pay $2,000 and realize that, oh, I don't like it anymore. Your $2,000 are gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
One-way street.
Exact. But with a software as a service, you look at it and then say, I like it. It's giving me the result that I like, and giving me 1080p. And I see, like, on a weekly basis, they adding features and allowing me to this and that. Okay, I'll keep on paying. I'll keep on paying until something happens. It's not working for me, or my vision has changed, or something, I find a better product. I find something better. Then I move. No strings attached, the freedom to move, freedom to test something else, to move with the newest and the better. So what's not to like? And most of them, for example, they offer such a scalability, and it's beyond imagination. You cannot say it. And they're just allowing you, for example, to add. And so you add this feature, it gives you more of this. You add this feature, it gives you more of that. Because they understand that the needs are not the same as you're growing. And because it's subscription-based, and some of them will allow you to downgrade. Say, oh, I used to need, let's say, 1 terabyte of storage on my Google account, my Google Drive. And, because I was running a project where I needed to move a lot of files, my project is done. So Google services, can I downgrade to the 50 gig? Most of them will say, yes, no problem.
Okay.
So you are using what you need. And even for bigger organizations, they are using the storage, they're using the compute when they need it for a specific project. Most of them, they use it for testing new softwares. And when they're done with this testing, when they're done with the development, they just call Amazon and say, Amazon, we are done with the project that we had, so we would like to shut down that compute power you gave us through the cloud. Okay. And if it meets the requirements or the plan, the agreement, the contract, Amazon will shut it down and that's it. So the cost of owning equipment that you may not need all the time, and that's why, remember I said, whenever it comes to equipment, before you invest a certain amount of equipment, make sure that you're going to use it on a regular basis. If not, it's best for you to rent.
To rent, yes.
But also, if you're going to rent it for a longer period of time, and a lot of time, start looking at different options to keep the cost low. And if you're going to rent it, the stand, that they were renting equipment every month to do videos, and say, yes, rent it, and then shoot 4 or 5 videos during the weekend, and then return the equipment, and you cover for a long period of time.
Yes.
You see, that's how you can do that. And the other benefit is also what they call the proof of concept. It's been tested. It's working. People are using it. And because it's a SaaS, because it's code and it's a software, most of these providers, those are companies that are selling those softwares, they have engineers, they can correct it, fix it as soon as possible. And some of them, for example, like Ecamm Live, they have 2 versions. One, the beta version. They allow you to have access to it as long as you have an account with them. You can access the beta version and try out bugs and problems. And they have a group of people trying it every day and reporting the issues that they're encountering to the Ecamm Live engineers on a daily basis. Those who are part of the group, they know it. They get daily updates on the beta, even on the group and even on the software. So the software, they can see how it's improving. Whatever will take a little longer, they'll tell them, listen, this one we cannot fix it now, but it'll be probably fixed in the next set of upgrade that we will do, or we're still working on it. But at least whatever they put out for the masses, for the main public, it's been tested by another group of people. Not just the engineers, because they may have a bias and, it's their product and they like it and, we stand behind our product. But when you have people using your beta version and telling you real time, this is the problem that I've encountered when I was running my show last night, and they share whatever code information they can share, they work on it quicker. So that whenever they release that version to the grand public, the whole public, people are they get a version that is working. It's no longer a trial version. It's a version that is working. It's been tested.
Okay.
You see, that's one of the benefits that I can mention of this using the SaaS software as a business. Now I'd like to show you some of the costs that you could have encountered if you decided not to go with a SaaS solution. Hardware maintenance. Now, when it comes to hardware, remember, you may need, and that is another thing that I always recommend to people getting into the streaming, the live streaming. I always ask them, are you planning, what is your budget first? Getting an idea of the budget, because that's part of the consulting or services that I offer. Getting an idea of the budget. So, that's your budget, and that will be covering everything. And that's when I start making my recommendation. I say, based on the budget, Mr. Customer, it's best for you to go with a SaaS when it comes to software, instead of getting one you install. Oh, but you know, I would like to get this quality. I say, if you want that quality, then you need to put
More.
more money.
Yeah, more on the table.
You need to put more on the table
Yeah.
because people. Okay, let me spill a secret. A lot of people they'll look at how most churches now are doing online services, and sometimes you wonder how come this church stream is better? How come that church stream is kind of so-so? The image, the sound, all these things. There is more than just getting a camera. You can get a 4K camera, but how you connect it to your whatever router, whatever system to send it to the internet, to YouTube and all that, it also matters. And, you know, I'm not afraid to say it, but I just learned today, for example, there is a software that also, they can also sell you the hardware, but the software alone, it's an encoding software. It's a subscription. It's not, you buy it once. It costs the lowest version, it's $99 per month, 99 US dollars per month. The other version with more features, it's $149 per month.
That's definitely for big companies, big organizations.
Exactly. So that is the point that I'm trying to say. Sometimes those hardwares and the licenses that you may get may become a cost. So if you want to save on your cost of doing business, then understand that this is a list. It's not the full list, but it's a main hardware and the main equipment that you may need if you're not going to use a SaaS. Because you'll be asked to get a computer that has, for example, at least 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, and then plus, you know, for the better quality, you'll be asked to get a 2020 or 2021 computer. And because I tell you, if it's a 2018 or 2017, even it's an Apple, it may not work well with the software. Why? Because they build it for efficiency. And that efficiency is no longer good. It's not attainable on the old hardware.
Even a 2018 Apple.
Depends on the device. So
okay.
If you go, let's say, for a MacBook Pro, you could be fine. But if you just go for the MacBook and some of the desktop, maybe not. You go for some of the iMacs, maybe not. So it becomes really knowing the requirement, understanding the requirement.
Wow.
And just that, thinking about those requirements, you are a business and you're losing time. That time could have been used to something else more productive, but now you're doing more research. And even if you decide, okay, I'm going to find somebody to do it for me, no problem, but it will not be free. No, I'm telling you, it will not be free. You know, if you want free, I'll say, why don't you ask one of the guy in your organization to do that for you? But if you come to me because you trust my opinion, you value what I can provide, then it's not free. Understand that I'll be charging you for that service. Okay, so on top of that, you need to think about the hardware maintenance. You need to think about the software licenses. Remember, we talked about the Adobe Creative Suite, which used to cost over $2,000. You see, that costs knocked down. Hardware, knocked down, because all you need is actually, for the Melon, I haven't tried it, but for StreamYard, for example, I know I can stream from my phone for StreamYard. I can control a stream from my phone. That's it. So I don't need all these licenses. In terms of maintenance, not much, because I'm using even you can use for most of those SaaS, you can use even the cheapest desktop of computer that you may have around. You don't need to invest in a $2,000 computer. You can use even a $500 computer with a good internet connection, and you'll find savings. License, we talked about it. Storage devices. Yes, you can still buy an external hard drive, but it will cost you for 3 terabytes, between 1 and 3 terabytes. It's between 60 to 130, 140 Canadian dollars. But what will happen if you drop that drive, that external hard drive? Same thing, all your data is gone.
Yes.
Again, yes, you invested. Okay, I'm paying $200 to get a nice external hard drive and all that. But look at the cost of disruption in case it breaks.
Yes, anything goes wrong.
You can be disrupted. Instead of that, you take a SaaS, you take a online storage where you store everything, where you have a backup of everything. Savings. Yes, the saving right there, it's not in terms of the long-term cost, but it's upfront cost. The upfront cost, you are saving. Why? Because you need that money to invest in other things to produce more. Instead of just putting all the money in the equipment. No, you put some of the money, you keep some of the money, and buy the raw materials that you need. You buy something else instead of just getting the hardware, the equipment, and taking all the money and realize that you don't have enough to cover for the raw material that you need to produce your product.
Yes. Wow.
And in terms of what we were saying here, it's like if you can leverage SaaS, you can avoid some of these costs here. Some of these costs that you're seeing here, you can avoid them. You can reduce them. Why? You don't need a storage device. You don't need a powerful networking equipment for companies in running those cables, because you need the people to come in the office to install them, and etc. And that's why even most companies now, they got rid of the outlet for the hardware connection, internet connection. They go in for Wi-Fi. Why? Because less cables to run.
Really?
Yes.
In the office
less
setting?
cables to run. Yes, office settings, wireless, and the connectivity is excellent. No worries, no signal drop. So it's a level where they thinking how to make it easier, because even the wireless connection gives them a better control of who is connecting to the network compared to the cable. Remember, the cable, some people with bad intention could just log a virus on an affected computer, plug it to your company network, and spread the virus. Now, no need to do that. Even guests, they come to visit in the office before the pandemic. Oh, the information is right there at the reception. I tell them, if you want to connect wirelessly, you follow these steps and you connect wirelessly. Companies are no longer afraid to provide that access. They can give you access to the internet, as long as they know, they set parameters where you can go, whatever. They control it. It gives them a better control. Yes.
Things
So
have changed.
with that, you don't need mortar and bricks. You don't need to pay for TMI. You don't need to have those inventory. Why? Because everything that you need in those areas are today offered as a service by one or two different providers. That is the beauty of this business of SaaS, software as a service. That's what you're getting. That's what you're moving away when you consider that. You be moving away from hardware maintenance, hardware acquisition, upgrade, and things like that. You will not have to worry about it, because most of those softwares, if they work today with your system, chances are, if you keep that system and you want to keep it, they'll still be able to work. For example, let's say down the road, 3 or 4 years later, you're still using Melon, and they will recognize that, oh, you're using an old, Apple computer. They'll make sure that you still have access to the software, but they'll tell you for the newer functionalities, it'll be better for you to upgrade. And unfortunately, for you, it is not just those software pushing you, but other surrounding other things around you will be pushing you to upgrade. Why? Because some of the connectivities will no longer be available.
Yes.
Some of the adapters for the connectors on the that you have on your computer, they would not be relevant in probably 5 years. People will be like, oh, where do I plug this cable? Oh, your computer is old. You don't have a port for that.
You have to upgrade.
You have to upgrade. You see, it's not really caused or forced by the SaaS, providers, but it will be more on peripherals. We call them peripherals. All these, the hard drives, the phones that we connect to the computers. They may come with a newer connectors that would not be compatible with the old hardware that you have. That's where you'll be forced to upgrade. But looking at it, what if you can keep your 2010 computer and still use StreamYard or Melon? I have a 2010 computer, actually a 2011. It's still there. I can do a streaming, no problem. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'm able to produce 2 streaming at the same time, one on this computer, another one on the other computer. I'm producing 2 of them. Why? Because those SaaS software providers, they know, they like to make sure that people are coming to them because probably of cost. They're cost conscious. So let's make sure that it's well integrated with even older version of hardware. That's how they're thinking. And that's, at the end of the day, it just helps you save on the cost of doing business. And that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. How you can save on the cost of doing business by using SaaS. Yes, you can still be stuck in the old way of doing things, going hardware. You need to think about a maintenance. You need to think about the licenses. You need to think about the storage. And talking about storage, then you need to have, for mid-sized companies and small and medium businesses, you need to have what we call network attached storage. So where the different devices that connect to your network can save in the same repository device. And you may need to have your own cloud, meaning what? Meaning people outside of your environment accessing that. But that also brings another cost, which is part of the tax, maintenance, insurance, because you need to have the proper cooling system in that office to maintain all this equipment. And not only that, because you're connecting all this equipment and they probably power users, your utility costs may go up.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have to do it, because you can access the company file, the company customer information from any device, anywhere in the world. And you don't have to worry about cooling. You don't have to worry about hydro. Look at the savings.
Yes, that's huge. That's huge.
And because you decide not really to have an office, then all you do, it's really renting a space on when you need it. And with the pandemic, as we all experience it, which office was open anyway? Most of the offices were closed.
Yeah.
Except, of course, the essential workers.
Yes.
So if your business is not part of the essential workers, then look at the savings that you can encounter when you decide to go with a SaaS instead of paying off for all this. And it's just a sample of the cost that you may have to run your business. There are more, and you probably know more than myself. And I'll be glad to hear from you, even in your comment. If for those who are watching now, for those who will be watching later, let us know what are the challenges that you have running your business. What are the costs that you're incurring right now to run your business? And I was even thinking maybe it will come. And as a matter of fact, I know that some computer manufacturer, they are offering, but it's still at a higher level, enterprise level. They are offering what they call not a lease, but they're offering for you as a company to get their equipment for a period of time. So you go and get it. It's a type of lease, but not really lease.
Okay.
And the beauty of it is, like, for those companies that are planning to grow in terms of the needs, computer needs or storage needs or networking needs, so they'll come, do an evaluation, and they say, okay, so Mountain of Inspiration, we realize that you need 3 servers, and those servers need to be at this capacity. They need to have this, and that. And also, based on what you're telling us, that your business will grow by, 20% in the next 3 years, meaning that you'll need, your storage need will double by the 12 months. They'll triple on the 3rd year and quadruple on the 4th year. So with this contract that you're signing with us, you don't need to worry. As soon as we see that you're reaching the capacity, we will come and install additional hardware for you to continue doing that. And the beauty of it, you don't have to buy those equipment, which could have cost you probably $500,000, because the old way of consuming compute, it was like, let's buy equipment and use them for 3 or 4 years before thinking about replacing them.
Yes,
so they are provisioning for the growth. So right now they only need, let's say, 10 terabytes, but because they know by year 4 they'll be at 100 terabytes, so the IT department will go to the finance and say, because we'll be growing to 100 terabytes by 2026, we need to buy this equipment now, and the cost right now at today's price is $500,000. Now, with this offering that I'm talking about, those manufacturers are going to this customer and say, Mr. Customer, instead of you spending $500,000 up front, we are giving you access to the equipment, but you pay us, let's say, $120K a year. And we take care of maintenance, we take care of everything. You don't need to worry about anything. The only thing you have to do is just pay for the hydro and because of the cooling. That's it. But any hardware increase required, we will take care of it without disrupting your business. That is at the enterprise level. I was thinking about it just before we started this show. What if somebody was to offer that at a consumer level? Not consumer, but medium, small business level.
Yes.
It'd be tremendous. With the 5G, it'll make it even easier, because guess what? You try to to move the equipment, they can track it from wherever. That's, and I hope it will get you guys thinking. It'll get you inspired, understanding what can be done. Sorry, let me end with this. This is the full citation. He basically said, Professor John Marcotti, speaking at the MIT Centennial in 1961, he said, if computers of the kind I have advocated become the computers of the future, then computing may someday be organized as a public utility, just as the telephone system is a public utility. The computer utility could become the basis of a new and important industry. People will have read this and looking at how technology has evolved. The utility that he was referring to this, a lot of people are saying he was thinking about a cloud. And today we are in that era. We are living it.
Yes.
The cloud becomes a public utility. People basically cannot live without the cloud. When I say cloud, I say everything that comes with the cloud, email and all this that we're accessing through the cloud. How many people can live today without an email? Think about it.
It's harder. It's harder now.
Yes. It has become really hard and harder for anyone to be without a computer.
Yeah.
And I really hope that you business people watching us, and you'll be probably watching this later, you will embrace this. You will start thinking beyond what you see there and looking at every challenge that people are bringing to you as an opportunity to make money. Those are the problems now society is facing right now. You have an opportunity to bring the best out of you and resolve that problem and become the guy who will solve that problem that people were about to experience in 20 years or 15 years. And because looking at the way things are moving, those changes will be coming faster than they used to be in the past.
Yes.
With the event of the 5G coming, being implemented, it will just accelerate it. It'll accelerate it at a level that you never thought about. So, dear friend, this is what I had to share with you. And if this is your first time here, you've never subscribed, you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, and if you're following me on Facebook or I think I was on Twitter as well, please feel free to subscribe, follow me, and leave me a comment. Tell me what was your impression? Did I give you what I promised to give at the beginning? Did I show you? Was I able to show the benefit you're getting? Was I able to demonstrate how much saving you can make? If not, let me know, and we can probably have a chat or do it or dive a little bit more. All right? And if you liked what we did and you like to support us, we have a PayPal account. Feel free to buy us a coffee. And if you think that we can make it better and you think you can support us financially, feel free as well. You can, my phone number is there. You can reach out to myself. I can share with you my email address and we can take it to the next level. So without you, we cannot make it. We are here to serve you. Let us know if there are any topic, anything, any technology that you'd like us to dive in and expand it and give you and provide you with the relevant explanations for your level of business or the type of business you're in. I'll be more than happy to do it. And that's what I do on a daily basis. explaining technologies to business owners, making sure that they get it, they see how it can benefit their businesses. And your business is as much as valuable those ones. So feel free to drop me a line or call me, leave me a comment, and I'll be more than happy to answer. All right. So Mountain of Inspiration, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for stopping by and asking me those questions. And I can't wait for the next topic on Mountain of Inspiration. You let me know when.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much again.
You're welcome. And all my friends, we'll see you next week. And tomorrow, for those who speak French, we can meet on Clubhouse at 8 p.m. All right. Until then, take care.